Ja, de wonderspons anno 2015 is gewoon een mitraillette geworden.
You already know. Top 5. Call of Duty. Zombie Secrets. In Shangri-La, baby. We back. And we ready to tell you the best secrets ever in this map. So guys, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a real long time. But you know what, guys? We are again finally back with the Shangri-La secrets, guys. With this map, it's going to be basically an infinite paradise. This is going to prove the proof of our Gartha and also 935's existence there. I have a lot about that coming up with this whole video. And again, guys, there's no particular order, and a new map will probably be coming soon. So Moon will probably be it's gonna take a long time to make. Let's be honest, it's Moon. So much shit happens on Moon that to condense it in like a 15-minute video is going to be absolutely ridiculous, guys. And just thinking about Black Ops 2, I'm really not totally sure if I'm going to be able to go on with it, just because if you think about Mob of the Dead, there's just layers and layers of Easter eggs that people still haven't found. And for me to all just do it by myself, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Like, just the amount of information I have on today's video is unbelievable, so I might not be able to do the Black Ops 2 secrets, and we might just end it off with Black Ops 1. But anyways, guys, set on straight into our number 5 spot. And in today's video, this is going to be the Shangri-La little Easter eggs. Now, one of the many cool features on Shangri-La was that it was the very first map to ever have a transferable Easter egg item. And what I'm talking about here is if you do the Call of the Dead Easter egg and you play Shangri-La as Richtofen, you'll be able to hold the golden rod. Now, if any of you guys have played Moon, this is the biggest influence in the Moon Easter egg, as well as the Easter egg in this map, or the reward for it, which is the focusing stone. So I think that was really cool little thing that they added with Shangri-La. Also, I have a little bit of a foreshadowing with Shangri-La. Whenever you activate the Pack-a-Punch, there's sort of these two skulls that rise, and I'm gonna get off into this a little bit more later into the video, but I believe that each skull rises and then they fall where water is. I feel like this is a sort of foreshadowing of the events from Moon, where everything is sort of good and then all of a sudden it just goes back way down with the water, and then you're back to zero. You know, the Earth's done, everything's ripperoni, we're all starting over humanity again. That's what I feel that is. I don't know, it might be a little bit too much, but that's just a little opinion about me. And then another thing about this map, which I found really cool, is that you can actually find little Nova 6 crawler monkey pods in this map, or we could found on Kino. And if you haven't seen my other top 5 secrets videos, do that right now. Do that right now, because this will not make any sense. But with the pods, this is probably a suggested evidence of Group 935 having a very short influence being here, because the pods represent crawlers, but as you guys know, the crawlers aren't actually in the map, so it's a little bit interesting there. And lastly, with this number 5 spot, is that the monkeys actually steal power-ups for a reason, and that reason is to supply the focusing stone up where the Pack-a-Punch is with 115 energy. And I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more, but anyways, guys, let's head on straight into our number 4 spot. And in today's video, this is going to be Brock and Gary's infinite adventures. So if you guys know about this storyline, you'll probably have a little bit of a chuckle there. But with this, there's 2 new main Easter egg characters with this map. There's one named Brock and one named Gary. Gary is Brock's assistant, and they're both explorers. Now, the thing is, Brock is having a huge issue with his life, and he wants to prove that the existence of Gartha is really something not to be meddled with. And our Gartha is there, and he also, I guess in the same sense, wants to prove the existence of Group 935. And again, this could be some sort of possible Origins link. Maybe Brock knew about our Gartha from Origins. Maybe he was just exploring in France and he somehow figured it out. Again, these details are very blurred. It's Shangri-La. It's more of a filler map, I would probably say, but it still has a very big part into the Easter egg. Now, also, while you listen to the radios with Brock and Gary, they realized that the temple where Shangri-La was made was actually made very, very recently, around where World War II was made, when Group 935 was in their prime, essentially. And guys, with their attempts to remove the focusing stone after they go through all these events of like dodging sort of traps and booby traps and stuff, like an Indiana Jones adventure, basically they finally get to the focusing stone. Now, if you guys know, the focusing stone is fully charged with 115, guys. It's a big part of the moon Easter egg. That's how they charge up the MPD. This thing is a focused sort of huge, mass amount of energy. It's ridiculous. And unfortunately, with Brock and Gary, they're put into an infinite time loop. Now, when Brock actually touches the meteorite, it becomes Gary's dead by this point if you listen to the radios, but when Brock touches it, he gets put into an infinite time loop, which really does suck. And also, another really cool thing that proves the whole stupid theory that Shangri-La is not on Mars is that Gary is actually a British person. So how does a British person get to Mars? It doesn't, that whole thing is so stupid. If you ever watch any old theory videos about Shangri-La being on Mars, it's dumb. But yes, guys, Gary is dead, and he is also stuck in an infinite time loop if you manage to complete the Easter egg as well. It's just, it never ends. And one thing I really thought was cool was I believe that the Napalm Zombie and the Shrieker Zombie in Shangri-La actually represents Brock and Gary. Now, I feel Brock would more represent the Napalm Zombie just because he is a little bit harder to kill, as not just by running up to him, and he's also seemed a little bit hot-headed during this whole adventure, and you can hear through the radios that he is a little bit of a hot-head. And also with Gary, I feel he is definitely the Shrieker Zombie just because he's very easy, he's the one that dies easier. It's sort of like what it is in the story. And also, a really cool thing I noticed about when you kill the Shrieker Zombies, all the zombies around you die, but you don't, and you should probably die because there's so much frequency waves in your ears that you should be able to just explode, but unfortunately it doesn't. So I feel that the Shrieker Zombie is Gary, and it's sort of Gary telling you to keep going, to encourage you to finish the Easter egg, and if you don't finish the Easter egg, they all die, and that is not good. But anyways, guys, let's head on straight into our number 3 spot. And in today's video, this is going to be the Irony of Paradise. Now, if any of you guys know what Shangri-La actually is, the true definition of it is complete bliss, peace, and just utter tranquilness. And it's absolutely beautiful. And it's very contrary to what happens in this Shangri-La. Again, you guys know, Shangri-La is one of the hardest maps out there. And I feel that Treyarch really wanted to get that sense of, this is not a paradise map. This map is gonna fuck with you, like, a lot. It's really bad. And guys, I sort of think of this as the zombies analogy with the snake and Adam and Eve. It's sort of like Adam and Eve's paradise, and then the snake comes in, he's like, nah boy, I got you, you know, like he makes the whole thing worse, you know. It's just a big lie. That's what I think it is. And also, a little fun fact about Shangri-La is Shangri-La, also known as Shambhalala, which is a little bit of a weird name, but you know, IRL, this is actually a mythical utopia in Western Tibet, which is a little fun fact there, which I thought you guys would like to know. But also, guys, with the Irony of Paradise, what I'm saying is that way back when Shangri-La first came out, there was a big debate about theories and all these things, because Treyarch devs were tweeting out that the Shangri-La mountains were the best kept secret in Black Ops 1 Zombies, and everyone's like, what the hell are they talking about? There are barely no mountains that the player can go on. You can just see them from outside of the map. But basically, I even still today think that nobody truly knows what they're saying, you know, because it's Treyarch, who knows? But my guess is I've actually seen an in real life documentary about Shangri-La, and they basically were going into mountains, and these mountains had little caves in them of artifacts from Western Tibet, and this whole mountain was apparently called the Shangri-La. This was the paradise way back when in time. And my personal thought about this possibly means that the true paradise of Shangri-La was just outside in the mountains, while the illusion that 935 created is the map that you're playing. And again, I'll get more into that illusion. But anyways, guys, let's head on straight into our number 2 spot. And in today's video, this is going to be Richtofen's an asshole. So basically, guys, let's recall that Gary, like I said, he's a British guy, and he dies, unfortunately. And if you do manage to do this Easter egg, it's not too much better for him because he's just stuck in an infinite time loop of when they started to explore the temple, and then by the time they hit the focusing stone, it just keeps repeating, and that's gotta be fucking boring, you know, like for the whole life. And my analogy to this is, if any of you guys have seen Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, this kind of reminds me of the scene where Harry and Dumbledore go and travel and go on this crazy adventure to find the one of Voldemort's Horcruxes, which was the ring. And I feel like this is a very, very good example of this, because the focusing stone is needed to destroy the Earth. So it's basically like Richtofen's Horcrux in a way. And if you guys don't watch Harry Potter, you have no idea what I'm saying. But we'll look up what a Horcrux is, because if you haven't watched Harry Potter, what the hell are you doing? Do it now. But like, basically that's what I feel it is, except Richtofen is Voldemort, and he is the only one that can truly activate the focusing stone. He can destroy everything. He can take the focusing stone, just him, because he was the one, in my personal opinion, that made the illusion of Shangri-La. And again, we only know that these events have only happened just because of Richtofen's screwed up experience when he first touched the MPD on Moon, and he just became absolutely damn crazy. Like, this guy, he lost his mind. And another really cool thing I found is to do the Easter egg on Shangri-La, right? You always need to be in the Eclipse mode. And basically what this means is you have to have 4 players hit these switches at the exact same time. And once you do, it turns the map into nighttime and there's an eclipse that happens. Now, I looked up the definition, or the sort of symbolism of an eclipse. And with the zodiac meaning, a north nodal eclipse actually has to represent ego. So it's the whole 935 ego of Richtofen trying to hold this Horcrux, I guess you could say, onto him so that he can just selfishly destroy the world for himself. And I thought that was a really awesome analogy to go with it. And guys, it's just this whole fictional reality that Richtofen has that Brock and Gary have fallen into, and also the main characters as well. They're all under Richtofen's little tiny fingers, just playing with everyone. It's bad. It's bad for everyone except for Richtofen, obviously, because he's a selfish asshole. But anyways, guys, let's head on straight into our number 1 spot. And in today's video, this is going to be fictional reality. Now, ever since this map came out, people have been speculating about what Shangri-La truly is. Is it on the moon? Is it on some sort of other planet? And many of these have been debunked just because there's various different ways that you can debunk them. For example, on Shangri-La, you can clearly see the moon in eclipse mode, and you can also see Griffith Station on the moon. So it's obviously on the Earth. Shangri-La is confirmed on the Earth. It's not on Mars. I know there are a lot of weird occurrences that happen on Shangri-La that would predict that it would be on another planet, but this is my theory, and I believe this is the best one that really fits in with the whole storyline. I believe that this place was an illusion that Group 925, specifically Richtofen, made just for his sort of homecoming, or his Horcrux place for the focusing stone. And I believe it's only ever working for the efforts of Group 925 and of course for the stone. So now, guys, also another cool thing that sort of supports this is that the Easter egg song on Shangri-La is called Pareidolia, and if you don't know what that means, it's actually something when you see something that's truly not there. And I believe that this Pareidolia sort of proves that this whole thing is like a dream. It's like an illusion. The whole Shangri-La isn't there. It's paradise that can never be attained. You know, that whole theory that everyone has. And also a couple quotes from Brock actually sort of prove this. He even says, "This place is massive. The architecture is not what I expected to see. It's more of an interpretation." And that's how he ends off the quote. And another one he can also see that I found that was super duper cool was, "Now entering the anti-chamber, I see some sort of altar and there's a rock suspended above it. This is just wonderful." And an inscription, Richtofen, Gary, take an etching. So that is, it just proves everything that I have to say. This is Richtofen's Horcrux bearing grounds. I know I'm just going ham with the Harry Potter references, but now let's explain why Shangri-La is truly not in our reality. Now, there's various Easter eggs, but the first main one that you see when you start up Shangri-La is the loading screen. Now, the loading screen shows 3 temples, and I feel that they're all scattered in different points of time in this fictional reality. reality, and you can see the focusing stone hovering around. You can see various moons in the Shangri-La loading screen. It doesn't make sense. It's just some sort of thing that Group 9 through 5 has made to control and manipulate everyone else. Brock and Gary, the 4 original characters, excluding Richtofen, of course, and that is my opinion about that. Also, why would there be large rocks of element 115 scattered around the map if it's not made by Group 9 through 5? Also, the mountain scenery doesn't fit with the whole Shangri-La thing. If it's going to be in Asia, the mountains would be differently shaped, and the mountains just look like something from Idaho or something. I don't know. It's very strange. This doesn't fit in with what we're getting. And you might be saying, oh, what about a multiverse theory? That would definitely make sense with this map. No, it would not, just because of all the different things that truly prove that this is Earth. If it's a multiverse theory, it wouldn't have the same factors as Shangri-La. Like, Shangri-La has a lot of vegetation, trees, water. It wouldn't really make sense with a multiverse theory. You would be going into some deep shit there, and I don't want to talk about that in today's episode. But the last couple Easter eggs that I truly want to say that prove this is real is when you go to the focusing stone at the end of the Easter egg, there are 2 skulls. Now, one can be shot and registered in reality, then the other one cannot be shot and registered in reality. And that is what my opinion about how this fictional reality is just taking control of everyone. And lastly, way later on, when Shangri-La was almost done and all of Black Ops 1 was almost done, they added this Easter egg where this rocket sort of shoots up from the temple, and it's basically a monkey that goes into this rocket. Now, I feel this rocket is just basically a joke saying just Treyarch saying that, listen guys, this whole thing is fake. How could a rocket just go up to the moon with the monkeys, and it's so small, and it doesn't make sense. And that is why, guys, Shangri-La is a fictional reality. There's nothing else that would prove that it's real. It doesn't make sense either other way, and that is my opinion and facts about that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like. Again, I will probably upload Moon's top 5 secrets, but I don't think I will do transits just because there's just so much shit with it. And this video is almost 17 minutes long with Shangri-La. I don't even understand. Like, Mob That will be 48 minutes. It's gonna be unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's at 2,500 likes, and I'll see you in the next one.